Hi my angels and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a sit down trying new makeup video. I feel like I haven't tried a lot of new makeup in a very long time, and I was basically in my filming room and sorting stuff out and I was like, wow, there's a lot of new stuff here that I really want to test out. So I thought I would do it on camera with you guys and we can have a bit of a play with some new makeup and a bit of a chit chat. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing today. Please ignore my hair. I just got out of the shower and I always like pin it all back and then this is what I'm left with. So we'll sort that out right at the end. But we are just gonna crack straight on to this video. Some of the stuff I've used maybe once or twice. Some of this stuff is like brand new, never used it, never touched it. So I'm gonna start prepping my skin. I am gonna start off with primer, and the one that I'm gonna use is this Ulla Henriksen Banana Primer completely butchered that. The Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I think I've used this once before and I really liked it. I actually also really like the moisturizer in this range and eye cream. So I'm gonna get this onto my face. I feel like this has got a really nice light, yeah, it's like a light texture and it kind of like helps brighten the face. I don't actually know whether I want to start off with my eyes. I might do a thin layer on my base and then go straight into eyes. So we are nearing the end of 2019 and I just want to ask you guys how you guys are, how you guys are feeling about the end of the year. I feel like it's always a really funny time where sometimes I reflect on my past year and I'm like, wow, I really didn't do that much, or wow, I did all this stuff. And it can be sometimes like a high or a low, but I just want to know how you guys are feeling. If you guys are feeling positive, if you guys are not feeling so positive, please do leave comments below and we will all try and help lift each other up if we are feeling low at this time of year. I feel it does lift a big weight off of your shoulders. So even if that just means typing away how you're feeling this year and just letting it all out, I feel like is a good thing. So please do leave some comments below and I will be reading the comments and replying to as many as I can. But yeah, I thought I would just mention that really quickly before we move on to foundation. So I've got these two new foundations here. Well, actually it's the same foundation, just two different colors. This is the Max Factor Face Affinity All Day Flawless Flexi Hold 3-in-1 Primer Concealer Foundation. Oh my god, that is a massive mouthload of words, but this is actually got an SPF of 20, which I love. I've got two shades here. I've got warm golden and warm beige, and I feel like I might just go in with warm beige and see how we get on with that. I've never tried this foundation before, and I also feel like I've never really tried anything from Max Factor. I'm not too sure why. I feel like it's not really a brand that like excites me. If you guys have got any favorites from Max Factor, please let me know. But I've just got a bit of that on the back of my hand. And I'm actually going to take the Morphe Beauty Sponge. I feel like mine's really small. Whenever I see other people use this on YouTube, I'm like, wow, it's huge. I don't know. Is mine smaller than everyone's? I have no idea. But we're just going to get this foundation onto our face. It's definitely got like a scent to it. Like not like a perfumey scent, but you can smell the foundation on your face a little bit, especially when you're bouncing the beauty blender around your nose. You can definitely get a whiff of it. I feel like the color match is pretty good. I'm getting another pump out because I feel like it didn't really cover a lot on like my nose, my forehead. So we're just gonna get that onto my face. I don't know how I'm feeling about this foundation. I feel like it's not sitting the nicest on my skin. I feel like it's looking quite dry on my skin. Okay, I definitely feel like this foundation is not for me. It's kind of got this weird like drying look to it. I feel like it's looking too dry on my skin. We're just gonna roll with it for now. I'm gonna move on to eyes. So I'm gonna first prime my eyelids using the P. Louise Base Pro. And this is in the shade The Base. I'm just gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand. You really don't need a lot for this. And I'm gonna apply that all over my eyelids. Yeah, I'm waiting for you. Okay. I know you're not supposed to set the eyeshadow primer, but I personally feel like I prefer it when I set it. So I'm going to take a brand new Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder from Charlotte Tilbury. I know this isn't a new product to me, but it's a brand new one. And I thought I'd use this because this is like my trusty setting powder. I'm just getting this all set on the eyelids. And for eyeshadow, I am going to be using this bad boy right here. This is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. And it's got some stunning stunning shades in it. I personally love like mauvey purpley tones, and I love these like pops of like blues and greens in here. Whoa, it's just gotten really sunny out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm just really liking this palette. As soon as it came through the post, I was like, I want to get it on my eyes. I think I'm gonna base the eyeshadow around this color right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is pop this shade and this shade into my crease and really build that color up until I'm happy with the way it's looking. If you're wondering, the names of the shades are Crush and Karma. So far, I'm really liking the way that these eyeshadows are blending. I feel like that they don't seem to be skipping. There's not very much kickback on the palette either. So overall, the two shades that I've used so far are actually really nice. I feel like I'm gonna do a bit of a cut crease because I haven't done cut crease in forever. So that's why I've brought the color quite intensely into the inner parts of the eyes. So when we go and cut the crease, it's gonna look really beautiful. Using the shade Off Balance, which is this one right here, I'm gonna start building that color into the outer third of the eye so we can really start smoking the area out. To deepen up the outer corner a little bit more, I'm taking the shade Vortex, which is the darkest color in the eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna use that to really intensify the smokiness of the outer eye. I've very quickly cut the crease of my eyes, and if you would like to see like a full in-depth video on how to do a cut crease eye, then I will leave a link to it in the eye and also a link to it in the description box as well. But I very quickly did that off camera so that we can get on to using the other colors in the eyeshadow palette. And I have also set them in place as well using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. So first I'm going to take this shade right here called Cosmic, and I'm going to get that into the inner third of the eyes. So this shade is actually quite like creamy, and it's not as pigmented as I thought it would be on the lids, which is why I'm really having to build up that color. Okay, so now it's time to move on to my favorite shade of this palette called Ultraviolet, and we're gonna get that onto the remaining part of where we've cut the crease. I really struggled to make the eyeshadow work. It looks so much nicer in the pan than it does on the eyes, and it's just made me feel really sad about this eye look. I actually don't know whether I actually even like this eye look anymore. Ugh. I've tried to salvage it by putting some glitter liner into the cut crease just to kind of clean that up a little bit and just to add a little bit of an extra pizzazz. I don't think this eyeshadow palette is giving me all the feels that it was at the beginning of this video. To make it look a little bit more kind of put together, I am gonna deepen up the outer thirds of the eyes to make it look a little bit more smokier. I feel like my favorite ones that she does is the smaller ones, and this big one is just not cutting it. I feel like it's skipping in the area where I try to deepen up the outer corners. I'm really not liking this eyeshadow palette at all. I feel like these sparkly colors right here are quite creamy, so I had to apply it with this sponge that she's also come out with, which I get why she's come out with this, because it's kind of like you should be using it with this sponge or your finger, and I basically hadn't even swatched these or anything before starting this video, so I am not really liking the eyes at all, but I'm hoping there's a way that we can kind of fix things up. By the time we get lashes, mascara, all of that on, eyebrows done, base looking a bit more not like this, I'm hoping it will look a little bit better. And speaking of base, I really do not like this foundation. I feel like it's just making me look really dry. So what I'm gonna do to hopefully save this look and this video is to apply another foundation on top, and fingers crossed it works. The foundation I'm gonna use is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I actually really liked this the first time I wore it in my last video, so we're just gonna try and see if we can make this work. Although the base doesn't look the best, I feel like it looks so much better than before. The other foundation, it was like very thin in consistency almost. I don't know whether it's this sponge, but I felt like I had a little bit of coverage, but it was super dry. Like you could see all my freckles on my nose. But I put this other one on top and it has given me a lot of coverage. And I just feel like it's looking a little bit more kind of healthy. I think I'm just gonna carry on finishing the base off. And for concealer, I'm gonna take this Bourjois Healthy Mix Concealer. Now, I was in Boots maybe like last month or something, and I saw that this concealer was here. And I actually used to use the Healthy Mix foundation from Bourjois all the time, and I loved just how glowy and beautiful it looked on my skin. So when I saw this, I had to pick it up. This is in the shade Light, and because I love a bright under eye, I thought this shade will hopefully give me that effect. So I'm just gonna get this onto the usual areas that I like to highlight and conceal, and then blend everything out with my Morphe sponge. I feel like we're finally getting somewhere with this look. I am going to set just those areas very quickly using the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I think this concealer would be nice without the like dryness going on my base. It's definitely that Max Factor foundation, because this Airbrush Flawless foundation from Charlotte Tilbury actually has a really nice like skin-like finish, whereas this one is still looking pretty matte, which, oh, it's not looking that great, but I'm hoping I can put some sort of setting spray on at the end and make sure everything just looks a bit more normal. For bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty bronzer. This is in the shade Island Ting. I've used this a few times and I can't remember whether I actually like it, but we're gonna go ahead and just start warming up the face, because I feel like my face looks very like ghostly at the moment. But I'm just putting this onto the usual areas, so my cheekbones, my jawline, my hairline, and also very, very slightly contouring my nose. I had to go in with quite a heavy hand with the bronzer just to make sure it showed up. I thought the bronzers were a little bit more pigmented than this, but maybe it's just my base. It's like nothing is working on it. I thought I would show you up close just how dry my skin is looking. I'm hoping the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist can come to the rescue right at the end. I'm now going to move on to blusher and highlight, and I actually have a new blush palette that I wanted to try. So this is the NARS Free Lover cheek palette. I love the NARS cheek palettes. I think they make a really good gift, especially for Christmas. I mean, if you look at the front of this, it's so stunning. It's like pink and glittery, but I absolutely love NARS cheek products, and I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm hoping it will complement the eye. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and tap off any excess, because they are very, very pigmented, and get that onto the apples of my cheeks. And for highlight, I'm going to use the e.l.f. and Nabella collab. I'm so excited to try this again. I've not opened this or like swatched it or anything, but I'm super excited to get this on my cheeks. I'm going to tap some of this onto the lid, and then I'm going to swirl my fan brush and get it onto the tops of my cheeks. And then I'm also popping it into the brow bone as well. Not actually tried that many e.l.f. products, but I really want to do like a full face of e.l.f. I might do one next year, but this is like a really beautiful highlight. It's almost like in the middle of a gold and a silver kind of based highlight, but very, very finely milled and feels nice and light on the skin as well. I totally forgot to contour my nose. I'm going to do that really quick. Don't do that to me. Do you think my base looks really dry? It does, doesn't it? We're almost done, and I feel like the eyelashes would definitely salvage the whole thing. I'm going to move on to mascara. I'm taking the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. I love this mascara. It's probably like the newest mascara that I've tried that I love. So I'm going to get this onto the top of my lashes, and then we can move on to smoking out the lower lashes. I'm taking a bit of Off Balance and Hot Mess to smoke out my lower lash line. The matte shades of this palette, I've got to say, are quite beautiful still. I think it's just these like shimmery, creamy shades which are like killing the vibe for me. I would love to see her come out with like a full, just like beautiful matte palette. But yeah, this is what we've got going on the lower lashes. I didn't want it to be too much, but now I'm gonna get some mascara onto my lower lashes. I very rarely kind of switch up my brow products, but I am gonna go in with the Brow Styler from Benefit. I actually really like using this on my brows because it's quick and easy, and I also love the like powder end, so I'll show you what it looks like. It's got like an angled waxy pencil on one end, and then you've got this like eyebrow powder on the other end, and I really like this. I thought I wouldn't, but I end up creating a really beautiful brow with this, so I'm just gonna get this onto my eyebrows and fill them in. Now using the brow filling powder, I'm just going to get that onto the front part of my brows. I've just popped some lashes on, and they are the Paris lashes from Primark, and I believe they're from the Sosu range. It's the ones in the gold packaging. And I find it so interesting how eyelashes can completely transform an eye look. But now that I have my lashes on, I'm going to tightline my upper lash line, and I'm going to use this Huda Beauty liner. It's basically got two ends. So you've got a liquid on one end, and then you've got a kohl on the other. So we're gonna get the kohl, and I'm gonna tightline my upper waterline. That was super easy to do. I was gonna add a wing, and just to test out the liquid liner, I think I'm just gonna add like a fake little wing on both of the outer corners of my eyes. That was actually really easy to do. I'm just gonna do the same thing onto the other eye. do like a fake little flip, thicken that base up slightly. The texture of this liquid liner is definitely very, very different to anything that I've tried before. Imagine like a gel eyeliner, but like turned into a liquid. So it's quite like, I don't know, it kind of felt a little bit thick and gloopy, but I feel like it will last quite well. And it's very, very matte black, which is what I love about any liquid liners. So the last thing to do now is our lips. Because the eyes are quite dramatic and quite glam looking, I'm going to take a nude, and the nude that I've picked is this e.l.f. and Nabella collab. I've actually been wearing this quite a few times and I really love the color of it. It really is that kind of like My Lips But Better shade, but I'm just going to get this onto my lips. Taking the lip liner from the same collab, I'm just going to clean up the lip line. I thought I was going to leave the lips right there, but I feel like they're looking a little bit too like dark for this eye look for me. So I'm going to take some of the Bourjois Rouge Edition Velvet in the shade Cafe au Lait, and I'm going to pop that on top. I'm almost done, and just to salvage the skin looking so dry in real life, I am going to get my Tatcha Luminous Dew Skin Mist and spray this all over my face. So you guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked sitting down and trying some new makeup with me. There were so many things that I didn't like. If I had to pick my top 3 products from all of the products that I tried today, then it would definitely have to be the brow styler from Benefit. The lipstick, which is the e.l.f. and Nabella collab. I just love the tone of it. It's very like, it's a very beautiful brown nude, and I just love the way it looks. The third one would have to be this NARS cheek palette, and that's because I love the NARS cheek palettes, and I've kind of been like collecting them over the past few years, and I just think this would make such a beautiful Christmas gift as well. So yeah, those have to be my top 3 products that I tried out in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the final look of it. I know the eyes were looking a bit cray-cray at the beginning, and I thought I wouldn't be able to make this makeup look actually looks somewhat decent, but I think we got there in the end. I hope you guys liked sitting down and just trying new makeup with me. I definitely want to film more of these going forward. I don't know whether you guys would prefer me to split them into high end and low end, or just kind of do a mix. I'm thinking a mix just because there's like a little bit of everything for everyone in them. Let me know in the comments below. I know I'll get a ton of questions about my earrings. My earrings are from a brand called Rouge London, and they're literally my favorite earrings of the moment. I absolutely love them. And every single time I wear these, I get so many compliments on them. So yeah, they are from Rouge London. I'll leave a link to them in the info box anyways. I don't think I'm forgetting to tell you guys anything. If I am, it will be in the info box. And I'm going to stop blabbering now and get going. And hopefully I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!